wound up here. But I never came by any of the GAs. It's weird when I was in OC.
I'm basically here to try and stop the legal wars that this country is involved in. And, I mean, they keep saying, we're over there to bring them into democracy. I tell you that all we're doing by bombing them is making them our enemy. You make more terrorists by bombs than you do by bread. Put a new water well in their village. It costs less than a bomb, and they will forever be in your debt. We're thinking about this all wrong. Flour? Flour?
Thank you.
Yeah. Flour? Anybody want a flour?
Profiting from debt. The military industrial congressional complex. Using our money to make profits from debt. Oil empires. We are not spreading liberation.
Wait till it's your women and children that are all beat up, blown apart. Then you'll see why we're doing this.
Tell the truth. Be a whistleblower. Honor your country. Honor the Constitution. Food, not bombs. Seeds, not bombs.
Condoms are cheaper than guns. Make love, not war.
Books, not bombs.
Make love, not war. What'd you say?
Stop the CIA. Shouldn't we move on to the Stop the kill list. The kill list is not constitutional. Shame on you.
Other places, or even just like putting them
The military-industrial complex has been wasting money for a long time, and I'm glad Occupy is doing something to bring attention to it. And I have a quote here from Eisenhower. Actually, it's a little longer than this. It's every missile launched. It's a theft in a real sense from everyone who is hungry and not fed. And there's more to it than that. But, and he also said beware the military-industrial complex, so it just seemed really appropriate.
Yeah, he did. But what do you guys think about the whole drone thing that's going on?
War crimes from the beginning, war crimes to the moment, and it'll be war crimes till it ends. And so, if those are all war crimes, what does that say about us? 1 out of 3 Iraqis killed, wounded, or displaced from their homes. That's a pretty heavy load to carry, isn't it?
Yeah, and it just takes the people in the military one step further away from what they're doing. That they're harming people and
just remote controlled toys, basically, with bombs.
They won't even realize how much damage annoying. It just makes people so angry, I'm sure, who live in those countries. Yeah, so we've got to find a way to shift our economy to things that actually help people instead of hurt people.
That's supposedly how it started out, I thought.
Hey, let me ask you a couple questions. Seen any Iraqi tank?
No.
Seen any mushroom clouds?
No.
No?
No.
Scott Ritter couldn't find any weapons of mass destruction, and he told Congress that. Well, why'd we go there? I know. $924 million a week to Halliburton to deliver oil. Oh, darn, Bush had these benchmarks. They were hard to find, but it tells me a little bit. The Iraq oil law was one of them. Pass this and we, do these things, we'll leave. Iraq oil law was only 80% of Iraq's oil for only 60 years. To David Troy, no. To American Oil Corporation. Yeah. Let me say that Eisenhower, forget the beware, accept the victory. Citizens united. End of the revolution. There is no America.
Thank you very much. It's a corporation.
I'm living in the 21st century, doing something mean to it.
Yeah, it really does.
Also leaves open the question of whether our government has the right to arrest you, American citizen, and to hold you forever without charging you, as long as what they suspect you of is terrorism.
Oh, you did? Oh.
I like your sign.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I like it too. Albert Einstein,
Wow.
creating the bomb, he said some good things about how bad it was.
Yeah.
About what a terrible thing he
Hey,
did.
remember America?
I'm here today
Yeah.
because I'm a human being. And I kind of like the species to survive and the planet to survive. And
Exactly.
once we begin with this kind of weaponry, it's over. We feel so helpless because things seem to go from bad to worse. But I remember going to a meeting with Reverend James Lawson, who was part of Martin Luther King's group. He was back in just before the bombings of Iraq. And he was saying, the one thing you can always do is say no. He says, so stand up and say no. And every chance you get, say no. You don't agree. He said, that's the one thing you can always, always do. So, I'm saying no today.
Talking to the Fox News guy over there across the thing with the camera. And he said,
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah. He said we should bring back slavery and we should all be enslaved.
We are.
Aren't we already?
People that don't have
You
jobs.
should say, well, we are sharecropping at the moment.
Oh, I thought he was with the police.
No,
I saw you doing the
Fox News,
dance.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are you wearing the mask? What, you have bench warrants out? Where'd you get the camera? Did you steal it?
Oh,
Are you
wow.
an anti-capitalist?
Wow.
Yes, I am. Actually, a patriot who
Wow.
living in democracy, you speak up about where you want your tax dollars to go.
That's the whole thing, isn't it?
This is not where I want my tax dollars to go.
No.
So I'm saying no.
We have no control over that part of it.
No.
I'll film the police filming us. That's fun.
That is hostile.
Display the people token. I need
My name's Julie, and I'm here today because I'm really tired of having the corporations, particularly the military corporations, running this country and the world. It's clear that the world agenda is just perpetual war for the greed of the 1%. We're talking about companies that care about, the next quarter's shareholders' profit. Well, there's a lot of money to be made in war, especially when the rest of our economy has completely failed us. So as an imperialist state. So the only way we can compete for scarce resources around the world, whether it's oil or anything else, is basically warring to exploit those resources from those countries. And we stand against that. We stand for peace. We're building another world. We're building a world of sharing and caring. We don't believe that besides, check this out, these corporations, most of them are paying zero taxes. Zero taxes, while the rest of us have to deal with austerity measures. So, our whole thing today is saying there is a better way. Together, if we stand up, we really have to tear the system down. Both parties, unfortunately, are part of the machine. They're funded by these corporations. All these corporations that are here in El Segundo, whether it's Raytheon, Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, all of them, they're basically funding all of our candidates, all of our elected officials. We feel that the only alternative right now is to start afresh, and that's going to mean taking them on. And the only way to do that is build a mass movement, and that's what we're doing.
The thing is, it's happening internationally. I mean, it's like a worldwide
totally global
stranglehold.
They're global. They want us to think national. They want us to be patriotic. They think they're doing it. We're doing it
right,
for the country.
Right.
We're doing it for multinational corporate greed.
I'm Sharon with Occupy Santa Ana, and from Orange County. I came up here. This is the heart and soul of the military-industrial complex here in Southern California. They make General Atomics is here, makes drones. Drone usage has exponentially grown, and while Obama is saying that their surgical kills, etc., they aren't. There's a lot of collateral damage, and we need to get that information out. We're so comfortable with the military. We're so comfortable with killing someone without a trial, and the military is insinuated in all of our lives. Pieces of military equipment is made in probably almost every congressional district, so that it's always popular. It's for jobs, and they say it's for jobs, but we can't have a war economy. The war economy is going to make us collapse. We need to have we have to think of the future. We don't have the resources. They have to stop. They can't be killing in our name. It's immoral. The people who fire the drones are devastated. Of course, the families are devastated. Our society is devastated. And not just drones, but all kinds of equipment, which they make here for killing. So we need the money for our future, for our children, for their education, for our basic needs. We have so many homeless people, we have elderly people, we have so many needs.
But you wouldn't have
but these people just keep making more and more money. They're the 0.01%. And we got to let them know that we're here. We're not going to take it anymore. We want that money for what we need it for.
Exactly.
For our people.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they get kind of heavy after a while, huh?
I didn't write any of them. Well, I thought if you were up there, you had the idea that
Luckily, I ran into him and another guy, and we just...
I have heard some people saying on the way here that this is not an anti-military protest, it's an anti-military industrial complex protest. Me, I like to say a little broader scale than that. I mean, Occupy is full of a huge diversity of people. We all think differently, we all have different ways of doing things, and I get where they're coming from. If there are people that have trouble focusing on more than one thing, okay, then pick the one thing. But some of us like to focus on a whole bunch of things at once. And as far as I'm concerned, yeah, it's anti-military industrial complex, especially when they're doing things wrong. Well, it's hard for a military industrial complex not to do something wrong because, they're like building the stuff we make wars out of.
Yeah.
We don't need that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, what we need is things to better the life of human beings. Not to cut down the population of human beings, which is what war is designed to do. A lot of people don't realize that, unfortunately. They think we fight wars because we have conflicts. Most wars are actually fought because there are a few people at the top, or rather a few entities at the top. Each of these entities made out of groups of people who kind of think as one, that look at the population down here and they say, look, the roaches are spreading. We need to do something about their population.
I know, yeah.
So while they're busy stamping us out, or rather getting us to stamp each other out, you know, we end up being distracted from where the real enemy is.
Exactly. Thank you.
This is where we need to wake up. We need to realize what we are, what we're capable of being. We need to realize where their power comes from, and look and go, hey, we can be that, and we don't have to be a-holes in the process.
I'm a veteran of the Marine Corps and became a computer engineer, and then a surgeon messed up and a drunk driver hit me and I wound up disabled in bed in a wheelchair, and I'm still recovering from that. So I got involved in Occupy because the government was cutting my disability last year to feed more money to my HMO. They took 12% of what we had, so my kids and we were living on basically like white rice and dry toast at the end of the month. And Occupy's been real good about, you know, helping us out a little bit with food. We have a food committee and stuff when we need it. Our action today, and that brings me to Occupy, is a social movement. I'm sure your viewers probably know, but prioritizing people over profit, saying, you know, enough with the money controlling our government and our society and everything else. So we're out here today because it looks like our government is trying to start a war with Iran, even though we have them surrounded and they've never been in deep water. I mean, they have no way to even get here. We're in no danger. And Major General Smedley Butler, a two-time Medal of Honor winning Marine, said that war's a racket, and the only reason we should be fighting is if we are actually in danger. We shouldn't. I'll take that as a hooray, support. So, you know, the only reason we should be considering war at all is if we're in actual danger. And ever since World War II, all the wars we've been fighting are basically just to be a local thug and either try and impose our viewpoints or try and take the other guy's stuff. Right. And that's really un-American. And Occupy overall, Occupy Marines, Veterans for Peace, we all believe that that's wrong. And another side effect has been that the military-industrial complex, the companies that build all these planes and bombs and everything else, make a lot of money. And then they turn around and they use that money to bribe our government with campaign contributions. And then they get more wars and more markets for the weapons, which now, since we're winding down the war in Iraq, they're going to start selling the Predators, and they already have in some cases. We have reports from Occupy Nashville that Predators have been seen over Nashville, Tennessee, and other cities, and that's completely inappropriate for what's supposed to be a free country, and it doesn't feel like it anymore. So I'm really interested in restoring the Bill of Rights and making sure America works for the people, not for the cash, which is supposed to be a tool, not a goal in life.
For 4 years, if the repair ship.
Well, it's very interesting because one of the things the military does for the complex is trying to take the people out of it. So one of the things about drones and these new types of warfare is they don't even require human beings on it. So, even they're being created with robotic people. So they're not creating so many local jobs. The other thing is, and I'm here for myself, let's convert these jobs. Let's convert these to green, sustainable jobs that will help us build a better future right here at home.
They're amazing.
Thank you for everyone who speaks truth.
I'd like a replacement. We are the people, 2. We are united. 3. The occupation is not leaving.
Well, there's 12 delegates in there. 12 delegates.
Keep on honking! Keep on bonking!
What the heck? Are they pulling them over the... Weapons manufacturers, all of these work together. They're all on the same boards. There's only a handful of several hundred people who sit on exactly the same board. I mean, they sit together with the same people on a variety of boards, whether it be pharmaceutical industry or it be a media company. So we don't have information. Thomas Jefferson said you must have an informed, participating public to keep a democracy. We do not have an informed population because people have got to start thinking for themselves. And they don't think. People don't think. And part of that is we're all on one major drug in this country, which is known as television. They are not job creators. My sister was a teacher for 17 years in Oakland. She has lost her job. Everyone that worked with disabled adults in education programs nationally has lost their jobs. You know, I'm a nurse. I'm retired from LA County Public Health Department. Public health is dead, over, finished. They've closed every clinic that I worked in. So, jobs? No. Jobs are what people do in their everyday communities that need to be done. I mean, look at our unemployment rate. It's unbelievable. We are outsourcing. Since the time of Reagan, when we started subsidizing the outsourcing of jobs to other countries, you and I, our tax dollars pay to subsidize creating jobs in India. Why is that? I have a daughter who's a new lawyer. She can't get a job. 46,000 jobs, law jobs, were outsourced to India this year. Nobody's safe. We're outsourcing surgery jobs to other countries, you know? Insurance companies are selling.
Well, what does it say about this when, this is the only industry that is really growing right now? Because when it comes to government at a time of budget cuts, it seems like the drone industry is really the only one that keeps expanding.
Because drones are about death. I mean, is the survival of the species going to depend on dog eat dog? How many people can you kill? What can we destroy? The number one polluter of the planet is the United States military. You know, whatever is dropped in Iraq, I mean, I care about all the people. I stood at that airport and watched kids come in with no legs. 11-year-olds from Iraq. And, that's one thing. But the other thing that people here don't realize is whatever is dropped in Iraq, whatever ends up in the air, depleted uranium, whatever, in about 8 weeks is here. And you're breathing it. And it's going to be part of your children's blood system. It's going to be part of your children's physiology. And if people don't care enough about others, which I think they should, because the survival of the species isn't about competition. The survival of the species is about cooperation.
The manufacturers who are promoting the products that they make, such as drones, they say that
weapons industry,
once they use them here in the U.S., they're going to be used for peaceful purposes. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, what peaceful purposes? Putting out fires, which will put more people out of work, right? I have a nephew who's a firefighter. Put him out of work with a drone. Why are we putting people out of work? We're putting people out of work because that creates more money for the people at the top. All you have to do is look at the last 20 years. What has happened to our public tax dollars? What has happened to the money in this country? Where has it gone? Our children don't have a better life than we had. They have a worse life. They have less opportunities. They owe more money. Where did the money go? you look at the gap. We have our average CEOs, like of these corporations, make 800 times what the average worker makes. We've lost our unions. We've lost our protections for workers. We've lost pensions. We never really had health care, but we're this Obama plan, or I don't want to call it that, but the ACA isn't going to solve our problem. It doesn't address our problems. You know, I mean, you have to decide what kind of society are we going to have, and people have to start thinking about that. If they think that a handful of people making bombs and slaughtering the rest of humanity is going to make a better world, you know, then they're in luck, because that's what we got. I'm out of luck, because I don't want that. I'm here because I pay taxes. I don't want my taxes going for warfare and bombs. I want my taxes to go to the schools. I want it to go for infrastructure. I want it to go for the environment. I want it to go for clean water. So what do we think? We have to start thinking about humanity. We have to start thinking about survival is cooperation. Survival is helping one another. Just think about it. You're fine. You know, it's all about it.
The fact that Bahraini police and Israeli defense forces came to Oakland, according to WikiLeaks documents, and trained the OPD on how to handle insurgency, you know, like that's frightening to me. That happened, and I witnessed it in Oakland. It's terrifying, but it's kind of this natural progression of when you only hold profits over people. Like when that's all you care about, it's not about the morality or the right and wrong. It's a moral hazard. You know, there is nothing stopping these people from doing something. So it's like, it's a natural progression. It's disconcerting to say the least. But if we have to have a paradigm shift where we're not looking at things as money-making industries, education, healthcare, military, like defense, you know, these things should not be for profit. So it's a very tough conversation to have, because you want to get all the 99% on board. But when they're working in these industries, people operate on utility, and they're not going to just willingly give up their career. You know, it's asking a lot. So, you know, it's going to be a long road. The civil rights era took 15 years, and some say it never even came to fruition. So what we're doing is 9 months old. You know, it's the beginning of a long conversation.
Of course, the police have my phone number.
And it's an automatic button? Yeah. You put your paint on your computer.
Over! Our government! This is our government for the people! Not the military industrial complex! No more deaths for profit!
Occupy is still here. We will always be here. We are now the mind, the heart, and the spirit of this world. You know, people are afraid that we were gone or that we were going to get co-opted, but we've co-opted the world. Everybody talks about Occupy, and we're still here. We're here with the military-industrial complex, trying to tell them that they can change their ways and use that might, that power to do good things, you know? Books, not bombs. So Occupy is here to tell a lot of stuff, and it's beautiful too. Occupy is doing some restructuring right now.
Is a terrorist
processes that we're kind of holding it down. There's kind of free-forming now, and we're seeing the beauty of how Occupy is now turning into this group that's going to be like the musicians. We know that there's structure to music, but within that structure you can still free-form and improvise, and I think that's going to be beautiful. It's going to grow this movement into a really beautiful, great movement, and people are going to really see what it's all about real soon.
So my sign over here says "Make Me for Killing," and that's absolutely perfect because Boeing is one of the major corporations around here. We got Lockheed Martin around the corner. We got all these big corporations, and these guys are kind of the facilitators of death. I think. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, they make weapons that kill people, and they're at least partially responsible. The other element that's really largely responsible is the central bank, private bank that funds all of it. So it's kind of a corporate empire, not really the American empire. You know, that's why we're out here protesting Boeing. It's not the White House or anything. Although it's a combination of both these powers. So George W. Bush is one person, actually he's a very important person, the Bush entire dynasty. And there's a lot of other people, and they get a lot of money from the government, and they use it for war. And it's really horrible right now if you look what's going on over in Syria, and all this tension we have. If you even watch Fox News, everybody's talking about Syria. And Syria is the biggest trading partner with Iran and Russia. And we have these pieces of crap like John McCain who gets up there and they say, well, Obama's not doing enough. Obama's already funding Al-Qaeda over in Libya. So, and I don't think there's really much evidence that the rebels over in Syria are the same. But in any case, I mean, we're being the instigators once again in this kind of, I don't know what the hell to call it. It looks like World War III, as a matter of fact. And it's pretty scary.
Faces face a big business. Faces face a big business. No face, no heart, no mind, no right. We can't take the energy, otherwise known as I. Think with us on synergy and get it right.
Anti-war protesters in El Segundo target defense contractors who produce deadly drones for the U.S. military.